When I'm stressed out, when I'm feeling anxiety, to get outside and get my hands in the dirt and garden, it's medicine. Kids feel different. Kids feel better. Kids feel connected to their schools. They feel connected to one another. And so I think that there's a light bulb that goes on once you get kids out of the classroom, and you're not just learning because the teacher's telling you to learn, but you're learning because the learning helps us do things. And the garden's a great way to demonstrate that. Hi, good morning, everybody. Yeah, so here we are today at J.B. Wright Elementary School. Earlier in the semester, we brought small groups of U of A students to this garden, and we weeded and tilled and planted. And we're really excited to be here today to bring the kids out, and the kids will all harvest produce that they get to take home. The U of A Community and School Garden Program, it's really a partnership. It's not just the U of A, but it's Tucson Unified School District. And to me, the mission of our program is to use school gardens to connect students with their emotions and their feelings, to connect kids with the natural world, to connect kids with each other, to connect kids with food systems. I think school gardens can do all those things.
Oh my God, it's broccoli! It's broccoli.
We know that getting outside in general is very good for kids' brains. It's good for figuring out problem solving. It's good for, all of this kind of experiential stuff that you can't really get in the same way in a classroom or from a book. And from my perspective also, gardens are great because they're like living laboratories. It's like great to use as a lens for all of the science stuff you can talk about with a garden, because it's just a little mini ecosystem in your backyard. The program I coordinate is called the SEEK program, which stands for Supporting Environmental Education and Communities. And my job is to go into schools around town and to provide environmental education and hands-on science learning directly to kids. The idea is to give them the hands-on experience, collecting data, doing the scientific method, learning that science isn't just something you read about in a book or facts you memorize, but it's something you do. And it could be fun. So what we're doing today, we're going to review a little bit of what we talked about with flower anatomy, and then we're going to go into pollination. When COVID hit, everything went remote. So I went two directions. I would use Zoom, and I would come into classes via Zoom once a week. We would do a lot of nature journaling. From week to week, I'd be like, go outside and find something that you think is cool, something you want to wonder about, and bring it back. So materials. All you need for today is a journal of some sort, something to write down your observations in. Other days I would do engaging things, like one time I caught a toad and just held it up to the screen and just yelled about it and had kids ask any questions they want, and meanwhile taught them about amphibians and what it means to be an amphibian in the desert. So they come out after rainstorms and they do all their breeding between May and kind of late summer, and then they dig back underground. The other arm of my work also became this video series that I started on YouTube called Science Will Save the World, in which I challenged myself to come up with an idea of something hands-on that kids could do at home with the materials available to them. Hello, my friends. My name is Jessie, this is Penny, and this is Science Will Save the World. This week, we are building off what we talked about last week when we did flower anatomy. So when I taught flower anatomy, I had them draw a picture of a flower parts along with me while I built a model of a flower. Incidentally, it was on my head. and then I dissected a flower in front of the camera while also dissecting my own head. So hopefully one of those modes stuck. You ready for it? I'm so ready. I was born ready to become a flower. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at me, I'm gorgeous. If you can do it in a fun, exciting way that is memorable too, I think that's like most of the challenge of communicating science. It's straightish. That's exactly what I intended. Hi friends, my name is Jessie, and I am here today in this garden to tell you about the science of food webs. One thing that's special about this program that maybe adds a layer to just garden education and having kids work out in gardens is that we also do teacher trainings and help with teacher professional development.
This is our intro slide. You can see it gives us instructions on how to use the pear deck.
When the pandemic hit, we began to think about ways that we can support teachers who are jumping into just learning how to teach online. I mean, everyone knows that that's a huge challenge. So we created videos that stand alone, as well as videos that build into larger lessons that teach concepts like parts of a plant, how a seed grows, etc.
Others, like our leafcutter bees and our mason bees, nest in existing holes in soft wood.
I am not a videographer, I'm not a photographer, but I think that the pandemic has kind of made all of us think differently about the way that we do our jobs. And I've learned so much about working with the community and working directly with folks and learning together with other people. And that's something I'll take forward as an educator.
One of the first things that we've noticed is that we have more teachers than ever attending our professional development trainings, and that's because more than ever teachers are motivated to get students outside and use outside spaces to teach. Today you guys are going to be harvesting some from the garden, and the food that you harvest you get to take home with you today. You know, I've done this work for a while, watching kids grow things and pick things and eat things that they might not otherwise eat. To see that excitement, you know, when you get a kid in the garden that grows something, and to pick and to eat something that they grew, and to see that light bulb go on, it's a powerful thing. And I think that, you know, the need for this type of learning, I think it's not going away.
I think the bigger picture importance of the work I do is that I want to make science be a welcoming place for students of all backgrounds and all experiences. I think science should be a place that's just about creativity and collaboration and curiosity. And I think that the only way we're going to be able to solve these big kind of environmental challenges of our day is to get people with all kinds of experiences and all kinds of ways of knowing and understanding and looking at a problem to be able to solve it.